I've heard a lot about winter fishing in Balkhash. People say that wobla, common roach, bites well under the ice, even at night time. You only need to drill a hole and prepare the bite. For fish, winter starts with first frost. When water cools, heat-loving carps, crucian carps, and grass carp hibernate. Other underwater inhabitants remain active during these cold months. They keep on moving, feeding, hunting, and getting caught by fishermen, of course. Here on Balkhash you can catch zander, vobla, Volga pike, perch and snakehead. The fish goes to quite deep places, cavities, bays, pits. It keeps near underwater snags and islands of vegetation. Fish are cold-blooded, and in order to maintain their metabolic processes, they need to keep themselves warm. The warmest water is at the bottom. Our program is not a manual for professional fishermen. We decided not to go deep into specific details of fishing, but set ourselves to show the nature of the winter Kazakh steppe. On the outskirts of the big city, we go to the store of fishing treasures. Fishermen are a little bit insane. They hit the road whenever they want to, therefore the store works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There are so many things: ice drills, reels, fishing rods, lamps. Everything is prepared in advance. We are only interested in corn and live bait. A lot depends on ground bait. We take a live fish and try to set up fishing tackle to catch a predator. A predator can be either a pike, perch or an asp. There is also snakehead fish. There is an air in the bag, and I think this fish will survive 400 kilometers long road trip. The bait shopping is done at the very last moment. It's not possible to keep fish alive in a water tank and with oxygen for too long. Normally, it's purchased during night or day. There are special shops, and now that we are done, we are off to the road. We are fully equipped. I will focus on attire separately. Fisherman wears thermal underwear, overalls, warm down jacket, mittens to quickly remove in case of biting, and most importantly, waterproof super warm boots. This kind of fishing involves sitting on ice for several hours. The SUV is also packed with everything you need for extreme winter travel. We've been on the road for 4 hours now. Tumbleweeds like these can often be found in our steppe. Sometimes the balls can be as big as 1.5 meters in diameter. It's quite amusing to observe how these tumbleweeds roll fast one after another during the fall winds or in the winter, like living creatures, and stop somewhere in a ditch or by catching on a bush of saxaul. Let's see whether this one will roll or not. One could drive for 300 kilometers from Almaty just to have a breakfast. It's so quiet over here. A Turanga forest had spread near Zhelturanga village of Balkhash region. Only in winter the cattle is not hiding under the Turanga trees from the scorching heat. Now the desert baobabs are completely low, and we can examine the details of the patent bark eaten by tree eaters. Check out this carving, all those wrinkles on this tree, like no other, and at the same time it's not good enough for heating. Low quality wood, coefficient of efficiency is very low. It doesn't stand near saxol or birch, but still one of the few trees in the desert. And its leaves are tiny. These leaves make noise all the time. What is it called? Turanga. The tree is under state protection and locals do not touch it. Also, this is the only place where locals' herds can find shade to chill in the summer. All around is a sizzling desert. Even now, the clay is dead, just salt mush. With every kilometer, the road is getting worse. There are no more than 30 kilometers left until we reach the destination point, a tiny village in the delta. We entered a saxol grove. This is extremely dangerous for the wheels of our jeep. Solid like stone roots, they stick out, sprinkled with snow. They can pierce through any tire from the side. We see a small incident. Passenger vehicle was skidded on the parapet in the ice. An elderly driver is trying to free himself for a long time and unsuccessfully. Such situations are dangerous in winter. It's getting cold and dark. Let's try and help them. This is jute. This is quite bad. It was raining a couple of days ago, then temperature dropped. Everything is frozen. Even snow is covered with 1.5–2 centimeters crust of ice. Have it been more snow, it would be a big threat to animals. But for now we see how it affects the vehicles. There are tourist spots in the River Lee Delta. Visitors are welcome here all year round, even in such weather. And here we are on the ice with the direct and passionate fisherman Konstantin Tugay. He and the guides are hammering the ice and feeds fish, boiled corn and wheat. It's easy to lose the location of holes among this icy quietness. The ice will cover the hole in a few hours, as if it wasn't there at all. Therefore, they put such reed tags on a fishing hole. They can be seen from afar. From time to time we hear ice treacherously crackling under our feet. This is not the most pleasant sound. Cracks run in different directions for many hundreds of meters. But experienced fishermen say that it is only dangerous in spring in March. The thickness of ice over here is 80 centimeters. You can catch quite a big fish. Zanders as big as 1.5–2 kilograms were caught here. But today we're after vobla. The sport is prepared perfectly. Have a look at that tent. The wind will not get us. Cold will not get us either. Warm panoplex under our feet. We are warmly dressed. Temperature here is around 0 degrees. Although outside there is a real storm. The angler has a lot of tricks and devices for winter fishing, from special fish pheromones to luminous baits. Or for example this, one cannot do without it. Fishermen never part with the ice drill while ice fishing. The thickness of ice may vary, up to 1 meter or even more. The diameter of the hole we make is very important. Look at how this happens. We'll change the sport if necessary. We have to drill dozens of ice holes. Now we'll scrape this with a scoop, then continue on drilling. After a fisherman has worked with an ice drill, it is required to scoop out the remaining ice because this is where the bait will get stuck. Moreover, if it is cold outside, and now it is very cold, the ice will twitch the top of the hole with a thin edge. This is extremely dangerous for fishing line. It will cut it like a razor. Therefore, scoop is indispensable while fishing. You won't get there with your bare hands.
Поэтому черпачок на рыбалке вещь незаменимая. Не полезешь же туда голыми руками.
The first night temperature has dropped to minus 25 degrees. Serious blizzard has begun. I still wonder how our polar tents haven't been blown away. All landmarks disappeared in the snow haze of thorny blizzard. In order to return to the base, we had to move in column using GPS. In the morning, the storm continues. We found out that we are not alone in this snowy silence. There is another group of crazy people nearby. The team of enthusiastic anglers set their tent next to ours. We decided to visit them. The people are hospitable and fish is biting pretty good. Misha, there is a blizzard outside. Do you think that there is a relation between increased number of fish caught and worsening of the weather?
Шатра небольшого есть у вас?
У нас есть там в машине.
Газ, горелка.
Плита керамическая, да, горелка.
It is connected indeed. Do you have something to heat this little tent? We have a ceramic plate in the car. You have to be very careful with it, very cautious, to avoid the loss of gas, because there were tragic incidents. People neglected security measures. Whoa! This one got away. It was a good one. Are you upset? Not at all. Feeling competitive. We'll get it on second try. Here it comes again. Here it bites. Still got it? No, it's another one. This time a little bit smaller. We'll probably let this one go. Let it grow up until next year. Go get your brother. We wish our neighbors good luck. We are literally behind this wall. We'll go back and test our luck.
Старшова.
Мы пожелаем нашим соседям, ребятам, ни пуха, ни пера. Мы вот за этой стенкой буквально находимся, так что мы сейчас пойдем и тоже испытаем свою удачу.
Many kilometers of travel, cold, wind, but what a pleasure do fishermen get when somewhere there, far below, they feel a slight, tingling bait and then a real bite. If the fish is really big, you feel anxiety. Adrenaline flows into the blood. Just do it, drag it, and always expect it to be the biggest fish. Perhaps this is the joy of fishing. But sometimes a fisherman stares in the ice hole for hours, changes bait after bait, and ends up catching a fish the size of a palm, only enough to feed a cat. But man at the ice hole is not discouraged.
А вот и мне улыбнулась удача. Вот я поймал вот такую воблу.
And here I was lucky. Caught wobbler this big. This is a good one. Caught it on maggot. This is their favorite treat. Wonderful fish. It's a thrill for a fisherman. I have special pliers to remove the fish from the hook, but I will not do this. It's much more pleasant for me to take off the hook with my own hands. Have a look at how the fisherman's cabin is equipped. It's very warm in here. A gas boiler is standing on the ice. It is illuminated. We are comfortable, although steam comes from the mouth. And we can stay here for 5 hours or more. All this despite the fact that there is a storm outside. Is it an extreme sport? Winter ice fishing. Let's ask an experienced fisherman, Vildan. In a way, yes. Not every fisherman will go to a 6-meter depth in the middle of winter, where it is unknown what kind of ice there is. Fortunately, we were told that it's 60 to 70 centimeters of ice under us, and it is possible to drive a truck on it. It's comfortable here. But there is a 10 to 15 meters per second snowstorm outside of tent. It's snowing, the temperature is low. Not all fishermen will agree to that. Why do you like this type of fishing? It depends on personality. I can't peacefully stay at home. You need fish? No, because cost of the trip is not comparable to the amount of fish caught. It's easier to get it from bazaar. This is a thrilling sensation, the drive. As you said, this is an extreme sport. I want to see fish down there near the bait. What is happening there? What kind of bottom is there? Maybe there is a seaweed? Maybe shells or snags? How does the fish behave? What kind of fish bites? More often, large or small one? It's impossible to film that. Too dark in the abyss under the ice. But the fish finds bait even in pitch darkness. Marina isn't in charge here, on the ice and at the base. She will make sure you are fed and taken care of. Thanks to her efforts, guests are greeted by a warm and cozy hotel. And she cooks wonderfully. Minus 28 Celsius degrees on thermometer. Therefore, all the subglacial anglers have a good breakfast. The porridge is great. We want to say thanks to our cooks. They saved us. We won't be able to have lunch very soon, and most likely will have to eat on ice. Enjoy your meal.
А им надо корм, пускай снег поедят, ничего, сейчас уже нормально стало. Я вообще сказала им не выпускать.
There is a farm here on a plot of half a hectare, leghorned chickens and laying hens. Rabbits of rare breeds are kept here, ducks, geese, and even Vietnamese pigs. They also promised to plant a garden this spring. These are the kind of rabbits that are kept here. These are pedigree animals. Rabbits, as you know, are not only valuable fur, but also 2 to 3 kilos of dietary meat. It's so cold right now, aren't rabbits chill? No, it's very warm in here. Most importantly, rabbits do not like wind drafts. Low temperatures are fine. Marina is also a fan of fishing.
Очень переживаем, когда непогода или наоборот солнечно.
We are very worried when the weather is bad or sunny. The fish is so unpredictable. Sometimes people call and say, "Do you think we'll catch fish for sure?" And I reply, "We do our best to ensure that." Guides are searching for good spots all day.
Именно места, на которых написано 500 метров.
One day fish bites there, another day it bites elsewhere. So the guides make sure to lead visitors to those spots to make sure they do not leave without a catch. Because the distance is not close. It's rather upsetting to drive for 400 kilometers and not catch a single fish. Although some guests say that they come to relax and the fish is not important. They just like being here on our base. But isn't it even better if you catch a big fish?
Но если еще и ловят очень большими такими вот
Крупные экземпляры.
крупными, да.
It's time to warm up a little. You can't sit all day long crouching at the ice hole. Need to adapt to the frosty winter outside. we decided to walk around the neighborhood. Not far from the village, there is a whole fishing fleet frozen in the ice. Feluccas and launch boats from the past, a lot of them. Some on land, the rest are in reeds. Quite bizarre image. The village Karauzak is a mecca of Balkhash fishermen. In the summer, anglers and underwater hunters come here from all over Kazakhstan and even from abroad. Fishermen have long lived here because these places are rich with fish. Extreme point reached by trucks and even earlier carts led by horses. It is here where fish transportation caravans began its journey to big cities of Kazakhstan. One street of the house along the stream behind the clean channel, impassable reed thickets for many kilometers. Everybody's life here is connected with amateur or professional fishing. If the guests arrived for the first time, they will certainly be greeted, will be provided a place to spend the night, get help with finding a guide and boat.
Я хочу познакомить вас с Панага.
I want to introduce you to Panaga. This is the oldest resident, the most respected resident of the village Karauzak. The village itself is amazing. It is located on the river. There are no streets, only water. Everyone goes out from their yard and get into the boat and sail off. So Panaga has 6 children.
Вы занимались профессиональной рыбалкой, здесь были совхозы, да? Как тогда все происходило?
Everyone knows him in this village. When there is trouble, a flood or the light burnt out, Panaga is always there to give a hand. You have been professionally fishing since the 60s. Were there state-owned farms here? No, it was fish factory. Fish factory was considered Goslov, state fishing department. At that time, I was working with state fishermen. From Lake Asubay, we would catch fish with the seine. Over the winter, we were pulling out about 100,000 nets. What kind of fish it was mostly? How big it was? The fish was very big. One carp was 12 kilos. Where do tourists come from? From Bulgaria, Russia, Germany, Austria, Romania. I asked them, why are you coming here? You have no more places to visit? No, they want Balkhash. They come here, rest here. Tourism develops pretty good in here. People say your nature is pure and clean here. Products are good and tasty. Also, you get great sleep here. Therefore, we come here. I tell them, why would you go through all those troubles? They say, it's all right as long as we get our rest.
Машину там проколите, заблуждаетесь, буксуете, всяких проблем создаете. Это все говорят, ничего, лишь бы нам отдохнуть.
The old man remembers the father gave a strange name to a Kazakh boy. His 7 brothers and sisters had died. Rich Polish guy named Pan lived next door, so they named him Pan. This was a protector name. That was a long time ago, and now in Karauzak, old and new, intertwine as close as never. In order to get water from the river, the young guys break the ice with ice pick in the old-fashioned way. And at the same time, there is a boat park in each yard. Boats of the latest American models, Japanese or German engines. Locals say that these boats belong to their friends, who have left their boats to store them during winter. Since ancient times, people were building their homes with materials available. Some built from logs or stones and some from the skins of reindeer. Here, in the Balkhash region, only clay and reed are abundant. It appears those are excellent building materials. The structures served for centuries. The old fishing wattle and daub huts called mazanka have served for long enough. The men used available materials. First of all, there's reed. Mats were knitted out of it, tied with wire, and a dense board was placed under the ceiling. Reed mats on top, after that thin, then thick layer of clay. This clay, with reeds, kept rain and snow. This is quite a big house. Apparently, this was a wealthy fisherman. Not a single decade has passed, and more than one generation has grown here.
И здесь не одно десятилетие, я думаю, выросло, и не одно поколение прожили люди.
Even floors are made of clay. They were poured with clay solution. Not too bad, pretty warm and clean. Take a look at this exciting detail. This is a good omen. Swallows lived in the house. These swallows were never driven out. They made a nest from clay and horsehair. 2-3 young swallows were born here every year.
И птенцы вылетали сюда, отсюда каждый год по 2, по 3.
Now they build new beautiful houses with all amenities. Of course, thanks to fishing tourists. People plant their plots, plant them with willow to reinforce their land. These are the kinds of houses built in the Karausak village these days. Tourists and numerous amateur fishermen are met here. All doors are open to the guests. We met extreme fishermen. Tell us, was your trip a success? It was successful. We caught some fish. Were you afraid of snowstorm? Not at all. We are going home now. I ask everybody the same question. What draws you to ice fishing? It's different from regular fishing on boat. It's exciting. There's an abyss under the ice, under your feet. Indescribable feelings. Everything was perfect this time. We'll get our vouchers. Let's see what kind of vouchers. Marina, how many were these guys allowed to catch? 10 kilos of fish per voucher. These licenses are issued for 2 or 3 days for 10 kilograms of fish. Did they get their limit? Yes, they did. They still have to have these licenses while on ice. And also during the road. Because on the road, the inspection can stop and check for fish and a license. This is the law. Everything is done according to it. Viktor Chulkov has been guarding these places for about 20 years. He issues licenses for fishing and together with 15 rangers controls fishing in the Balkhash lake system. There is no commercial fishing in Delta for more than 5 years, only amateur fishing.
Рыбалка подорвет запасы рыбы в Балхаше или нет?
The main question is, can amateur fishing undermine the fish stocks in Balkhash? The future is only for amateur fishing. Commercial fishing must be controlled. It got to the point that the fish is about to disappear. And amateur fishing, on the contrary, blossoms. For the simple reason that the amateur fishermen will not violate rules like commercial fishers. The little ones that you can handle. Amateur fishermen are interested in preserving fish stocks. Gradually, it is necessary to teach the fishermen the scheme. You catch, you let go. Caught couple of carps, released rest of the fish back to the lake. Next time you arrive, you'll catch the same fish, but bigger, and you'll have a reason to come here. Therefore, I'm committed to transferring half of the elite fishery to this scheme. Foreign fishermen are attracted by catfish. Trophy catfish can weigh 50 kilos or more. Many Russian tourists began to come to us. They come for the snakehead. People say that snakeheads will cause damage to the other fish population. I don't believe in that. Snakeheads are a valuable breed of fish, especially for amateur fishing. Turns out there is a charm of staying in the winter steppe on the pond at any time of the year, even in a bitter cold. What's good about winter fishing is the catch will not spoil. You only need to leave it outside for a couple of hours. It will freeze to the bone. So, if you haven't been on the ice in winter, challenge yourself. Take the risk to catch the fisherman's luck by the tail. You might enjoy it.